Hi, it's Christiana Gaudet with more answers to your questions about tarot. Today's question is from Mateo. Here it is. Do you have any useful tips or techniques to share for blending tarot and oracle decks in the same reading? And is it possible to do without necessarily tarotizing oracles or oracleizing tarot? Third possible question, is it really bad to do that? He goes on to say, I've never been a huge fan of oracle decks, and I always thought tarot to be an all-encompassing tool which needs no support other than a good question and a quiet corner to spread the cards. However, some time ago I had the chance to play around a bit with a friend's Oracle of Visions. Oh, well, yeah, Oracle of Visions, And after watching your review, I finally fell in love and decided to buy it. I really feel connected to the cards, to the point that I don't even need tarot knowledge to understand them, and think that somehow they could fit in my readings well. Okay, first of all, Mateo, you and I are so on the same page here. As you know, I love Oracle of Visions. And maybe you don't know this, but I, too, am not much of a fan of oracle decks in general. I agree with you. Tarot is so all-encompassing, so complete. Why would you need anything else? That's often how I feel. And I also feel that oracle decks vary so much in quality because there's no specific structure. Now, what Ciro Marchetti did with Oracle of Visions is he made the non-structure the structure, and it was brilliant. There are a few other oracle decks I have come to love, and in my years, here are some things I've learned. First of all, some people who really don't want to wrap their brain around tarot will have a lot of fun with oracle decks, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people who are uncomfortable with the complexity of tarot or feel some stigma around tarot may become comfortable with the whole idea of reading cards by playing with a pretty oracle. Nothing wrong with that. Now, from the perspective of being a tarot reader or even a professional tarot reader, your question was, how do you do it? Is it okay to bring an oracle into a tarot reading, and what might be a way to do that? And I would say, first of all, if it works for you, it's okay. It's more than okay. It's wonderful. And part of what we each need to do as professional tarot readers is to define our own reading style. And you may find that bringing in another modality or another media, another method, you may find that's part of what defines your style. Now, some possible ways of doing it. And, depending on the oracle or the number of oracles that you want to work with, here are some ideas. Have the client start with one card from an oracle to set the tone of the reading, or finish the reading by having the client pull one card as a final message. That's a nice way to begin and or to end, with one card from another oracle. Now, what about non-card oracles? What about a pendulum? I like to use a pendulum in conjunction with tarot because you can kind of hold the pendulum over each card and get a sense of the strength of the card. And also you can hold the pendulum while you're talking to get a sense of the veracity of what's coming out of your mouth. I call it my BS meter. So if I'm holding my pendulum while I'm reading and it's swinging in a nice big circle, I know what's coming out of my mouth is truth. If I start to stray off the truth, the pendulum will stop. So that's another way of using a different kind of oracle, if you will, or a different kind of device. Now, there are some oracles that are developed specifically for a kind of quandary or a kind of question. You could have those oracles on hand to pull out when a reading takes a turn in that direction. Now, you had asked about, how, really, I think what your question was really was about the difference between, what is a tarot, what is an oracle, how does that work differently. Basically, all tarot decks are oracles. Tarot is an oracle. But not all oracles are tarot. Tarot is an oracle of a very specific structure, history, and tradition. And that's what makes tarot tarot. So I think it's perfectly okay to play with this and find what works for you. If you feel called to work with oracles in this way, by all means, have some fun. Mateo, I want to thank you for another great question. And if you have a question about tarot, please send me an email.